Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, TedTokez. And we got a few World of Tanks console matches. Now, I'm going to fair warn you guys because I don't want to waste your time. But the matches aren't super impressive. However, the visuals that we get be good to explain a few things. Like, for example, how these matches would go a lot more positively if we had players that actually played the game. Now I know you may think that seems to be an unfair comment because, well, it is 15 players in the match. How are they not playing? What I meant by that is, as you can see, look at the one line, look at the J line, right? Whether you're looking northwest at that one line, or whether you're looking southeast at that J line. Those are players that are having people play the game for them. Now, yeah, it makes their game a whole lot easier. However, when you actually take a look at the map, you can see how many teammates are having a pretty hard time just because those players want to have it so easy for themselves. Now, that's what I mean by a lack of participation. It's not a matter of that they're not here, they're not doing stuff. It's not about that. It's about the fact that they're choosing to do things that are actively getting nothing done. And what I want you to realize about that is here's the reality of what's going to happen if you are a player that has people play the game for you. Eventually, you're going to run out of players who are able to play the game for you, and you're going to be stuck in a game that you have to play that you've been choosing to no longer learn how to play. But, you know, hopefully they allow you to use Overwatch to defend yourself. You know, maybe the Alamo phase, you know, maybe your final stand phase won't be the enemies getting right up in your face. Maybe they'll let you do what you've been practicing as Overwatch. Who knows? I must certainly not after 10 years of playing this game. Here's the next match. Another beautiful example of how absolutely nothing is genuinely getting done. You can have 10 tanks doing the same job as each other. Now, I'm going to start off by saying, yeah, alright, it wasn't a 10v1 this time, but when you show up to a match after match, and you consistently see your teammates looking for nothing but 10v1s, or else they refuse to entertain the battlefield. Take a look at this map. You can already see it forming. Alright, let's forget about the fact that I went up to the D7 intersection on my own. Let's take a look at this mini-map as we're playing our back and forth with that hill on the top there. Alright, now you can see we have an entire half of the team in one square of the map down there in that, what is that, H5, H6 area, right? Now, they're eventually going to work their way to the west there to help with this big group. And you can see they're not just a big group, but they're a big group getting reinforcements, right? Now, here we can take a look and see that as I'm in this intersection up in the D7 area or D8 area, we got a medium trying to fall back to the rest of his heavies as I'm playing the corner, and we got 3 of our 10. Now here's the thing. Ready for this? This is why I say that you guys aren't actual participants, nor are you team players. Alright? Now, after all that, these 3 tanks on the bridge decided to continue to help me. Not push past the bridge and help with these 2 mediums, who could then be them 3, at most them 3 heavies plus them 2 mediums, making 5 tanks to push down this G1 corner and have them sandwiched, right? Something that would have changed the entirety of the outcome of this game. But because players would rather just sit around, never push, never learn how to flank, never prevent the flank by flanking, never prevent the push by pressuring. You know, they're just going to sit there for the by default points that they're accustomed to making. And, you know, Obviously, we could see I'm overwatching for that medium. I could have drove straight up that hill towards them to help, but I have a pretty good angle to keep them at the peak of that hill so that anytime they peak the crest of that hill to get my teammate medium, they have to get through me before they even get a chance to see. See how far them two tanks have to push up to get a shot at that medium? All the way over the peak of that hill. Now to a position where that medium is even going to be able to get a shot. Not just me, who has a shot at a sooner chance, which is pretty rare. Overwatch usually doesn't have the first opportunity when Frontlines is involved. Frontlines will have the first at the opportunity usually. Look at this right here. We see him moving up. We see a teammate moving up. We pushed up. Take that left side of the hill. We'll start seeing the enemies about right here. We see our teammates pushing up the hill next to us, so we decide to keep pushing forward, mostly because we have enough health to survive one penetration at least as we bridge this gap to this enemy, try to hold them in place and dogpile them or something like that. I have enough health to take damage in case my other two teammates were one-shots. They weren't one-shots. They had much more health than a one-shot's worth. But if they were one-shots, me playing that tip of the spear, you know, learning how to deflect even if I was in the situation I couldn't and they managed to pen me, right? Those are the things that are actually going to change the outcome of the game. You notice those players that went southwest down there to that curved corner road there, they didn't do anything. Even though they had the enemies in a bottleneck. They had 10 tanks sharing literally two-way roads as a position to peak their position, you know. And our team did nothing but sit there with them. And I'll be honest, this game they probably should have decided to be a little more overwatching. But you can't convince me that they're teammates. You know, regardless if we would have won or not, a lot of the damage points would still be divvied up the same. We're still collecting the same amount of total enemy damage points available. Doesn't really matter to me who gets them. A lot of these players only care about damage, right? And that's why they're going to continue to try to get that damage. But as you can see, we did all that team-wise. Team did all that for literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people to share an assist number that clearly one tank had gotten all of them. I doubt multiple tanks got each of them 20 something damage and assist. That was probably one tank that shot somebody eventually and it gave 5 people assisted points, right? That's the only proof of evidence you need to show that the assist is much more effective as proving you're supporting the team than this by default damage that you guys want to, basically ruin each other's chance at even getting because you want to have the most of it. And it's not even that important of a accolade to me. Like, oh, cool, you're happy about getting 2 kills worth, or how much? You could have 10 kills worth. You're happy about getting 10. You're happy about getting 10 enemy health bars worth of points, but we lost how many teammates doing it? You know what I mean? That's the part that bothers me. I'll never know. I mean, for 10 years, I wondered why you guys would actively ruin each other's outcomes for your own game, and then wonder why way more than half of your matches are terrible. Even when you do, opinionatedly good. Well, alright, anyways. I'm getting a little toxic there, so let's get back into what's happening here. And as you can see, we got luck, only a couple tanks wasting time over the field. You can notice the enemies are got a strong presence from that G5 all the way down to H5, probably further, all the way down to H8, right? They got a bit of a presence there. Now look at our team. Still, they're all just sitting where they, started. Nobody's doing anything, right? You got a light tank rotating to the northeast area of the map, but that's about it. just a bunch of players playing peekaboo and taking pop shots. You know what I mean? It's a childish game now. I miss the days where we actually got to play battle, like we actually got, there was genuine battlefields. Like, this isn't even a battlefield to me. We're you guys are actually choosing to lose, if you ask me. Like, what kind of play styles are you guys gonna say? Oh, let me just go drive up the 5 line, or sit somewhere behind this building waiting for a free shot all game. Did you think that was gonna work? Look at them. Look how easy they pushed around that corner because nobody knew how to do a damn thing. But they're all so good because, you know, there's so many of them that can scan the podium. You know, I'm not gonna pretend it to be the case, right? Now, I'm not acting like I'm the best out here at this time, right? Because I know not only do I, you know, defeat myself often, you know, I'm not even playing to win. So, you know, I'm not really arguing if I'm better or not, right? But the reality is we're all probably garbage at this game, and you may say speak for yourself, but until you guys can prove that the points you get aren't gotten because of other players, right? At least get them with the team, right? How can you guys say 10 tanks choosing to overwatch while 3 to 5 tanks scout in front line for you, and then you guys get your 2 to 3 kills worth after everybody's dead? And let me not forget about the other 3 to 5 overwatchers that actually broke a kills worth, you know? Like, look at these scores, guys. I mean, seriously, if you ask me, looking at the assist numbers alone tells me who was helping. Notice the people below the first. Look, like, what is that first place assist really say 200 and something, or is there a number squeezed in there that I can't see on this little mini display as I'm doing this voiceover? But look at these numbers, guys. And if you look all the way down to the bottom, it wasn't but a third of the team who didn't at least get about a kill's worth, right? So you tell me this 9,000 damage for 1 kill, this 6,600 damage for 1 kill, this 3,000, you know what I mean? Look, here's my thing. I really don't think that they're all killing each other for their points, but they are. You know, at the same time, whether it's their intent or not, I mean, you can't tell me that these games go out this way, you know? I just personally don't see how many of you World of Tanks players can have the audacity to say that you're even playing the game or playing as a teammate. You know, listen, me going out there and dying, even if I did nothing, right? It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Me being dead, not able to help, is far less significant than yous being alive that whole time and not actually helping. But you're welcome for the help, even if it was nothing.